It's time to meet the Muppets on the Muppet Show tonight.
Good morning. We are doing Local Tourist Diaries again. Welcome back. This time in Salem. That's right. The capital of Oregon. The city where we live. Very exciting. Today is the Cherry Blossom Festival in downtown Salem. It happens every year. Now, basically, I think our plan, it's about 10:30 now. We're going to go to the Cherry Blossom Festival. We made coffee here at home. I'll have Felix give a little tour of the home coffee and walk around, see what they have to offer. We might go to some businesses downtown, and then I think I'm going to take you guys with me to some of my favorite places this afternoon. Maybe I can convince Felix to take you guys to some of their favorite places tomorrow afternoon. I'm excited to spend the weekend together. I'm so excited you guys are here. And I really love the series, and I love how much you guys have been loving it. I feel like it's getting me to see cities that I visited before in like a new light. And I will definitely be going back to like Corvallis and Eugene again to do other videos there because there's new stuff to see every time. But yeah, let's go.
Well, hello viewers at home. It's me, Felix. This is, yeah, all done. This is the coffee. It's in a cup. Mine is mostly soy milk, and then pour over, that's like red brick or red wall, or I think it's red brick. Picture. I just get whichever one is on sale or sounds good. Usually it's the one on sale. And I put a little bit of the Winco coconut creamer in it, and then mostly soy milk, and then ice from our ice machine that does not scream. Morgan's looks basically just like this, but hers is her oat milk. She likes to have the extra creamy oat milk. They didn't have it at the Winco this last time, so hers is just regular oat milk, which is kind of sad. And then a little bit of the creamer, the coconut creamer, and then the maple Torani syrup. It's like 2 pumps, I think.
Oh, that makes sense. I put 4 pumps on.
That's bananas.
Yeah.
Well, I also put the creamer in it. That's like sweetened, so I wasn't sure. Did you taste it?
Yeah.
Is it fine?
Yeah, it's great. I think I would have put 1 more pump in it, but it is very good.
All right, cool.
And I have a disease.
And that's the home coffee.
We're headed in. Very excited. It's very busy. It took us a minute to find some parking, but we got it. We're walking over to the Saturday market, one of our favorite places to go in Salem as well. We didn't necessarily time it this way, they just both happen to be on Saturday, and our baby friends are headed over to the Saturday market, so are we. Okay, so we waited in line. Well, I waited in line for a little bit for that pupusa place. And it looked delicious, and I will be getting one maybe next week, but the line was so long, and the baby's got to go home for a nap, so we're going to run through Chubby Bean, one of our favorite places in the world, and we'll take you along with us, and then these two are going home. Forgot to show that we went to our favorite vegan pastry girlies. Simone actually got this for us because she waited in line before us. Very excited to eat this later. If you somehow don't know that Chubby Bean is our absolute favorite small business in Salem, Oregon, let me introduce you now. If you are ever going through Salem, please stop here. Every single thing on their menu is 10 out of 10, so delicious. It's absolutely mind-blowing. Please go there.
This is my food. It's a taco plate. Usually I get eggs on it, but I've not today. I know, I'll give you more, baby. And then there's beans and rice. It's really good. Big fan of this. It's impossible to film through these freaking happy birthday things, but let me just... Oh, okay.
That's right.
Well,
Oh, the bear's here.
we got there. Who's the bear?
He's
Oh,
from
the Marion Berries bear.
Isn't he cute?
The bear. You gotta be more specific. You don't trust me ever under any circumstances.
No, I like how
Here's the
snotty
bear.
you sound.
Oh, my.
Okay, we had Chubby Bean for lunch, which you saw. It was amazing. And I'm going to spend a little bit of time this afternoon just taking you guys to a couple of my favorite small businesses in Salem. If you watch a lot of our videos, I'm sure you've seen most of these. But any chance I get to shout out some of my favorite small businesses in Salem, I'll be taking it. Oh, we also got Flow So on the way home. New business. They had a food truck for a while, a drink truck, I guess, because they don't have food. And it did really well, so now they have an actual, like, location. It is a little bit precarious, like, pulling into it, but it's really good. I've still got mine. It is just kind of expensive Coke, so it's certainly not something I would get all the time, maybe not even every week, because I am very aware of the fact that I'm paying, like, $4 for a Coke with some grenadine in it. Well, mine's Dr. Pepper, but... you know, but I really like the branding. Everyone who works there is really nice. I want the business to do well, so I am like very happy to support them every now and then when I'm in the mood. For now, I'm just gonna run through some of my favorite places, give you guys a little tour. My goal is not to spend any money, and my goal is not to. So I will only be buying something if it is like really speaking to me. But I do genuinely just like window shopping, so I'm also happy to do that. My hope is to be home in like an hour, and I am planning to go to like 4 places, so that's pretty tight squeeze, but we'll see. Let's get started. Okay, our first stop is Furbish. I come here not super often right now, but before we had a toddler, we did. It is an incredible place to get vintage pieces for like really fair prices. Across the street, they also have a coffee shop called Offbeat Coffee. I haven't been here, but Felix has. Comes highly recommended. Everything in here is really well curated, in my opinion. The store is actually closed Monday through Wednesday so that they can redesign and restructure all of the pieces in the store so that they look different every time, as well as to make room for new inventory. The folks who own it are really sweet. Like I said, everything is really well priced, and on top of that, they also have plants that they sell. So it is literally a vintage antique store with fair prices and also a plant store. This place was designed in a lab for me. It is so incredible. They also have a couple of things that they do throughout the summer and also throughout the year where they kind of do a really big sale to get rid of old inventory. Absolutely check it out if you're anywhere near Salem. Every single time I'm in here, I find something that I want to take home. Next up, we have Will and Bee's Quilt and Coffee Shop. This is actually a very new business to me. I've only been here a couple of times. The people who work there are so knowledgeable and so incredibly kind. I am obviously very new to quilting, and so I have plenty of questions all the time. This fabric in particular, I do think I might be going back for because it's so cute. They have a lot of fabric options. They have beautiful quilts on display, which is fuel for inspiration. I also really love the way that they fold their fat quarters into these little triangles. Like I said, they are also a coffee shop. They have coffee, they have dirty sodas, they have Italian sodas, and I think they also have energy drinks as well. The last place I went was Paramount Sewing and Vacuum. It is right next to the abandoned craft warehouse. Rest in peace, girl, we miss you. This was actually my first time going in here, but it came highly recommended and I really wanted to check it out, especially as someone who is getting into quilting. They definitely have fancier fabrics here, I would say. Definitely a higher price point than like Michael's or even Will and Bee's, but sometimes that is what you need. I will say I had questions for the staff and they were so kind and so knowledgeable. I think I spent like 15 minutes talking to one of the people who works there about the machines that they have. They do offer classes to learn different skills and techniques. I will definitely be looking into that because I'm always looking to learn. They also have a long arm machine, embroidery machines, things like that. And if you have any issues with your machine, you can take it to them and they will help you out. Couple of other small businesses that I wanted to film at that day, but I was on a time crunch. First is the book bin. We are huge fans of the book bin. We've been there several times. Anytime we are looking for a specific book to purchase, we always go there first. If they don't have it there and you don't need it by a specific date, they can order it for you. You can still buy it through them. You can still support a small business. Everyone there has great recommendations. They're so sweet. A couple of sweet peas also work there. Obviously makes me very happy. Then there is also Subatomic Vintage Toys. Our friend Jen works there. Huge fans of her. This place is incredible. When I talked about it last time, I said that it was like a museum of joy, and I stand by that. It is so cool. I love just walking around in there, even if I don't buy anything, like just seeing all of the different toys and collectibles that have existed over the years for so many different franchises is so interesting to me. And because it is like constantly getting updated and people are constantly selling new things to them, it is completely different, I feel like, every single time that we go. And I don't have footage of this one, but another one of my favorite restaurants in Salem is Noble Wave. It's a New Orleans inspired restaurant. For obvious reasons, I am obsessed with it. It's really good during regular hours, but I personally really prefer brunch. Number one, because brunch is like the best meal anyone could have, but secondly, I feel like their menu is especially really good.
You've seen places Morgan likes to go in Salem. Here are places I like. These are the places I like to go. Okay. This is Ike Box. It is so tasty. They have coffee. They have a breakfast burrito that I'm really into. It's like a vegetarian black bean burrito. It's inside of an old funeral home. I love when a place is repurposed, particularly a big old freaking building. And I love when something has like a weird vibe and eclectic energy to it. And Ike Box is perfect in that way. They have single stall bathrooms. The staff are always really nice. There is a piano that people can play. They have these completely unhinged Cupid angel babies. They're painted everywhere. Yeah, there's a lot of weird seating. It's just great. I just really like Ike Box. My other favorite place is the bins. I'm sorry, everyone. Okay, I apologize. I do not love Goodwill Industries. From what I understand, it's very area specific whether or not they actually help people where they're at. But you will not find a better price for weird crap than at the bins. I have this disease where if I see pieces of a set, I will try to find them and collect them and get them. Because like if somebody just buys a piece of it, then it's sad because then you're forever missing that half of whatever, right? Oh yeah, I got a whole bunch of tablespoons and teaspoons. Anyway, it's like a wild little scavenger hunt and I have a great time and then I get invested because I'm finding all these pieces. Look how scary this pumpkin is. Who put this here? Why is that pumpkin in the background like that? Look at him. God. I also love it because I'm never just shopping for like my family. I'm also shopping for all of the people that I love or just like the children in my community who are going to be at swaps and can get free stuff. And I got a pink Razor scooter for my toddler, which he's going to be obsessed with, but not quite yet because it's too big for him right now. My actual most favorite place to go in Salem is the public library. It is so good. It's just the best. They have this place called the Discovery Room where I don't even know what technically age it's supposed to be. I have seen children as young as like barely toddling. So like, I don't know, like 10-ish, 12-ish months to probably like 5-year-olds in there. It rocks. They change it seasonally. Right now it's like camping and it's like a camping, hiking, state parks vibe. Before that it was music and before that it was cars. It was like vehicles. It always is super cool. That's just the Discovery Room. And then they have another room that they use for story time. And then it's kind of like the like chill babies room. So it's just not as loud in there. And usually it's a little bit younger crowd, like 6 months old to like 2 being like the older portion of that. The story times are really good. Our kid was kind of into them when he was like very lapsity and now he just sprints out the door because the door is usually open for story times and it's like, I'll done babies. So it's like, okay, whatever. And then they have like another like area. Anyway, it's great. The bathrooms are amazing. I'm obsessed with their bathrooms. It's like one of the only actually child-proof bathrooms I ever spend any time in. You can just like set your toddler down and then like go potty yourself and not have to worry about them like reaching into trash or another toilet or doing something nefarious and scary. I almost never actually check something out at the library. I usually put stuff on hold online because we have like a regional cooperative library. So our library mails things to and from other libraries. So technically I've borrowed things from the Dallas library and the Silverton library, like et cetera, and I just pick them up from the holds desk as the baby and I are heading out. Sometimes I'll grab like a CD or something, like that one time there's literally Elmo was like there on the CD and I was like, oh, I'll grab Elmo on the way out, that's great. Most recently we picked up one of the toddler totes, which it's like a bag, it's like a clear backpack that has books that are all of a similar theme. So we got a bug one, really excited about that. Anyway, it's free and it's fun and they have all kinds of activities for folks of all ages. We do the kids clothing swap there fairly regularly, like seasonally-ish. There are other like craft things and like other like adult activity things that they do. I just obviously spend most of my time and energy finding activities for my toddler to do so that our house is less messy and the library is more messy. So, you know? It's great. It works well. I also really like going to the parks that we have around Salem. There's a bunch of really great ones. I have found that like the kind of like smaller neighborhood parks, like I've never been to a bad one. Like they're all good. Some of them are better than others. Most of the ones that I've been to are within like 10 minutes of my house. And so I feel like if you were going to try to triangulate where we live, it wouldn't be difficult to do. So I didn't want to like film the parks that we go to fairly regularly. But today actually we were at the library and right across from the library there's one called it's like Let's All Play park, and it is not a city park. It's owned by the Salem Hospital from what I understand. And it's like a super inclusive park. So it's like ages 2 to 12 is like what the structures are built for. And then it has a lot of like accessible, like kids with different mobility needs are able to use it. There's no like bark dust. It's like all that like kind of like soft, but like flat rolly ground. So like you can fall on it and you'll be fine. But also like you could be on a wheelchair user and you would have a fine time. Very cool. We just went there for the first time today and it was awesome. So big fan of that. But yeah, wherever you are in the world, wherever you live, if you haven't checked out sort of like the various neighborhood parks around you, definitely do that. Particularly if you live in Salem, there's some super fun parks. They're just, I don't know. It's like, it's also kind of nice because it's like, there's like our neighborhood park that we go to really regularly. And if I'm like, I don't know if he's like that, like stoked about this right now, like let's check something else out, like I want to change the scenery, let's see what he's feeling. And yeah, they're all cool. And there's, at least where we live, there's like a bunch within like basically a few minutes of each other that are not hard. Like you can just pack up, drive, park, and then you're at the park. That's great. I also end up going to more than like a normal person because I'm doing, canvassing for like the No Kings flyers I was putting up and then the kids clothing swap, right? So all of our parks at least have like some sort of community board that you can staple stuff or thumbtack stuff to, which I think that those are really great and not utilized enough because I'm always checking ours in our like neighborhood, whatever, you know what I mean? And like I'm there a couple times a week, if not more. And it's just, yeah, particularly if it's something that's happening like in your area, like put up a little flyer. Yay, free activities.
All right. That's the end of our Salem Local Tourist Diaries. I think we're doing several episodes of Salem, number one, because as the name suggests, we're local, right? And we're always looking to show off our town. Secondly, though, I really want to do like an episode of this where we only go to businesses we've never been to. I do think that would take probably a whole day of filming, and so we would need to figure out, or maybe take our toddler for the first half and then get childcare for the second half of the day. But I think it would be really fun to have like sort of a challenge element to only go to places we've never been, because there's every single time I drive somewhere in Salem, I'm like, what is that over there? That's how I found Will and Bees, was just driving by and then Googling it and being like, what is that? It's really such a cool place to live. I feel like we get messages all the time of people being like, how do you like Oregon? And while like I don't have the ability to constantly like respond to that, I feel like anytime someone does ask and I like have the time to respond, I'm always like, first of all, our privilege is like something that you need to take into account when you're asking someone how they like their town. But we love it. I'm really excited to raise a family here. I really like that Salem it's big enough that it has like all of the classic normal stores. We don't have to drive super far to get really anything, versus like when we lived in Orlando. While obviously we technically lived in Davenport, obviously the Orlando area is like a very populated place, but because there was such terrible traffic all the time, you were driving at least 30 minutes to get anywhere. anywhere. And I do like that we don't have that problem in Salem. The most we ever have to drive is like 20 minutes to go to technically the next town over to get to Michael's. And that's honestly only because Joanne closed. Because we used to have a Joanne much closer. And then I just feel like anytime we're doing anything in the community, whether it be just going to the library as patrons or Felix working with Soup Squad who helps out the unhoused folks, or going to No Kings or any of the other protests, I feel like Salem has just like really genuinely nice people. Obviously, same as anywhere, you're gonna run into assholes sometimes, but anytime we've ever been like standing in a line, you know, waiting to get food or get into somewhere that has a queue or whatever, we're always striking up conversations with strangers, and they're always really nice. If you happen to live near Salem or in any of the places that we have been to or might go back to or might go to in the future, love to hear recommendations. I have like a little note in my phone that I'm putting stuff in. I obviously won't be able to get to every single thing that every single person has suggested, but I'm always looking for suggestions. You know, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. Especially thank you to all of our patrons. We're really close to having 1,000 paid patrons. Really, really, really exciting. I can't believe that's something that I'm saying. If you are looking to support us more on our Patreon, we do have sort of a pay what you can situation. For anything less than $8, you get access to all the same content. Just depends on how much you want to support us. You can pay $1 and just watch a couple of the videos and then bounce if you want. It's totally fine. If you're looking to support us a little bit more, we do have an $8 tier where you can watch all of these YouTube videos ad-free over on Patreon. And we also try especially hard to put those out as soon as they're ready, versus obviously here on YouTube we wait till the next morning or like a good posting time to put things live. They have closed captioning, same as our videos here on YouTube, on Patreon as well. But no matter how you're supporting, just from watching these or leaving comments or sending sweet DMs, thank you so much. This is truly such a cool job, and we do not take it lightly that we wouldn't be able to do it without you guys. The world is so scary, but you are so lovely, and I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you have a great week, okay? Bye. It's done just as our, they have the captions. Just kind of expensive.
Hello, you've seen places Morgan likes to go. Click, click.
Mimi's home.
Sorry, my glasses have so much baby. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna start. Okay. I'm awake. My actual favorite. Yay! Our taxes going to things that are not bombs. Yay.